Now that I know, talking to you, I can kind of go, wait a second, this is the vibe that's being generated. This is the creative energy that is developed.
The vibe is intentional.
Yeah.
It's like saying when you start with the opener, he shouldn't be playing the highest energy set. I think it should flow throughout the night to get to the headliner, and then it kind of peaks down.
Yeah, you can't burn them out too quick, or else it ruins it.
Then the crowd's going to be like, I'm tired of this, I'm going home.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Riff. My name is Gary, and here we are with another episode, and I think it's time to pull up a chair and have a seat at the table and join the conversation. Here at The Riff, we are kind of chasing that kind of creative thread that is the binding force between multiple disciplines, whether it's music, visual arts, food, entertainment, anything else that lurks in between. That's what we kind of cover here at The Riff. And also, we do have a foodie section, which is always delicious, and that is sponsored by mytoronto.ca, so please stick around for that. Jeremy and I don't even know what we're going to be eating, so that's kind of fun. And mytoronto.ca is where you can, your best source for exploring Toronto like a local. Now, I do want to send a request out there to everyone that's listening, to you, the listener, the viewer. We would really appreciate it here on The Riff if I can ask for your help in getting a favor done here and hitting that like button, subscribing, following our podcast here. It really makes a difference for us because we, with that help, we can kind of pursue and continue getting bigger and better guests. And so if I can kind of ask for that kind of trade-off, then really appreciate the help. So
I don't.
Don't listen to Jer. And speaking of Jer, here he is. So Jer, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, buddy. Good intro as normal. Yeah, always following through. It's like you're paddling upstream through the current of the intro. It's always cool to watch.
Yeah, it is. It's like a salmon going upstream, and a not very graceful salmon at that. Anyway,
a hungry one. Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going good, man. Yeah, really good week. I got my album officially finished, mastered, release. July 17th.
July 17th. I saw that post.
So that's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about that.
Great.
So that's cool. I had a bit of a thing. I'm going to get serious here for a second because something came up, and this keeps coming up, and I see it more and more in life and through my network of friends and my kids' friends and all that stuff. It's like this week, my son was at a jam space, at a jam studio, and there was this guy in there, and he came, and they was like, "Hey, is there any drummers or whatever?" And my son's a very good drummer. He sat down and he played drums with this guy, and the guy was so happy, and he's such a great guy. Later, they were talking, and they found out this guy was really depressed, really sad, and his life wasn't really great for him. And so a therapist told him, "You need to find what you love and dig into that, and that should help with your happiness." So this guy did that. He went out, rented a space, started doing his music again, and now his life is great. He's doing really better mentally. All the mental stuff is fading back. He's doing better. It made me think, we're always told when we're young that creativity and arts and all of that stuff have no value. They're taking them out of schools in terms of like music programs, and I don't know. It's a thing like when the kids were little, they were all into music, and everyone's parent is proud. "Oh, my son can play guitar. That's great." And then he becomes college age. He's like, "I want to go to college for music." And they're like, "Don't do that."
Yeah.
Like, what are you
doing? Yeah.
Right? Like,
get a real job.
But it's like, just to appeal to all of you out there, especially young people, because you've been taught that this stuff is worthless and to pursue just going on a computer or like a work thing. Like, don't do that. Like, really dig into what you love. And creativity, every human has it. It doesn't matter. You don't have, and when I say creativity, I don't mean art. I don't mean like just making things like visual art. You could be a businessman. Like my father-in-law is just a business guy, but he is like so creative with how he approaches everything to do with his business, and he's highly successful. That's no different than guitar or painting or any of that. It's in everything, and I think the more people create, whatever that is, the happiness follows.
Right.
And I've seen it over and over again, and I feel so bad because young people have been, sort of you see it on Instagram and whatever, and they're just like kind of down on it. And it's like, find yourself, put the phone away
Put
for
the
a
phone
second
away.
and just learn something and get down to it
Yep.
because you'll feel so much better.
Whether it's tactical, like, in your hands or even thinking with the numbers.
Yep.
It doesn't always have to be an art form in terms of what you see or hear. But yeah, when you said the business numbers, if that, turns your crank, then
Yep.
that's the thing. You know what I mean?
And it's
Do
such
that.
an important thing, and that's why our guest today I'm really happy about, because he's sort of empowering that very thing. Like it's creating, we need to create as many vehicles as possible to get humanity back with all this AI and all this garbage that's floating around. Humans need to come forward now and claim back what we should be doing all along since cave paintings, right?
Well,
Your ancestors.
my cave. I am a caveman.
Cro-Magnon, but maybe
I have a
little-
caveman brow that kind of does this.
slight Neanderthal.
I've been told I look mean when I'm not. But anyway, let's get to our
that's
guest.
my
You
rant anyway,
spoke about our guest. That's a great point, though, and I think definitely worth saying. So, our guest today.
Technology.
Technology. There we go. Our guest today, if you want to break into the Toronto's EDM scene, this is the show to listen to. So today we are joined by one of the trendsetters behind Toronto's premier EDM event brand. Over the last 5 years, our guest has completely transformed Canada's nightlife scene, producing nearly 100 high-energy events and packing out top spots, including our beloved venue, Coda. He and his partners are single-handedly putting our city on the international map by bringing in heavy-hitting global players. Known for their sharp ear and early mover approach, his team has welcomed over 12,000 partygoers in the past year alone, with hosting massive Toronto debuts for superstars like Max Styler, Danny Avila, Maddox, and Sam Pacho. They bridge the gap between emerging local DJs and international giants. Here in the studio is a major player who brings the world's best EDM music straight to Toronto. Today in the Riff studio, Andrew Stasiw of King and Queen Events. Andrew, welcome to the Riff.
There he is.
Thank you guys for having me at the Riff. And
our pleasure.
Beautiful intro. Couldn't ask for a better day.
I don't know if it was beautiful, but yeah.
Sunny skies today with a sunny day.
First of all, I want to kind of touch on what Jeremy was kind of saying there in terms of following, not just following passion, but getting off the couch and into the passion, right? So how does one kind of young DJs or whatever, they're kind of trying to step into that, getting out of the basements and maybe turning it into a gig, turning it into appearances? How does one kind of get from that to that?
I say, so example, like starting this business and starting as a DJ producer, me and my business partners, we're all DJ producers. And one thing I say, like, to get into the steps from basement to playing gigs, it all starts with being there in person, networking. Nothing's going to get handed to you. Nothing's going to be given to you just like that. It all starts with that approach, going in person, meeting new people. Like I say, you never know who you meet. Next thing you know, you meet someone that works at the Blue Jays. Next thing you know, you meet someone that, works with the biggest artists you never knew that existed.
Right. It's surprising the connections you find too, right? The smallest
things, yeah. So I think that's where it starts day one, is going to these events. And it doesn't have to be the biggest shows. Like I like to say grassroots-wise is, even when I started this business, we started at venues that were just like 150 cap. Now we've scaled it to like 500 actively. And to be able to get to that stage, I would say even for small DJs, small producers just breaking out, the best way is to go to these small events, because that's going to lead you to the next step. If you go out there chatting with someone, there's so many like small community events. And I think that's where you should start your bottom ground, because that's going to slowly expand to you to the rest. I didn't get to Coda overnight. It took 5 years. Right. You know what I mean? That's like the steps to that.
Yeah, overnight success over 5 years. Yes, very good.
So
Excellent.
Even those steps to get to those type of venues, which that venue, Coda itself, has been here for 13 years, right? And it's built its name. Did I think in the 5 years I would get there? No. But I had to start at small venues like Wiggle Room, Bar Cathedral, level up to the ones today. And that's the same thing, I think, for an artist. You need to start at those smaller spaces and get your name out there. You never know. One step at a time will lead you to something else.
Right.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
And then it's not just you alone. You have partners, Stefan and Mike, right?
That's correct.
And you are also creating your own music, but you also do these events too as well. So what came first? You guys, you said you're sort of starting off with your own music, and then it turned into that.
Yeah, so I founded the company of King Queen Events in 2020. But at the same time, my duo partner for like my alias called Tuslav. And Tuslav was actually started like me and my duo partner.
I love that name, by the way. That's just so awesome. Yeah.
We're both Slavic, we're both Ukrainian, so it kind of fit in. And we're just hoping, like, once you know how Spotify works. Once you put it out there, like, you have the name. So we're like praying every day before we put our first release out. We're like, I hope no one takes Tuslav.
Yeah,
we're
please
screwed.
don't take it.
Because we have it on YouTube, we have it every other channel, but it's like the Spotify is the one that, I hope no one else takes it. And we're like, we got it. Now we're official. It's legit. But to sidetrack that, we met in university, me and my duo partner Yuri for Tuslav. It was our 5th year. He pulls out his laptop and he's like, this is FL Studio. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, right? Looks like a mumbo jumbo color coordinated stuff. I'm like, how does this work? Right? And we've been producing for 5 years. We just watch YouTube videos, just getting feedback from artists. There's tons of sources, and I think this is advice for all DJ producers out there. Use the sources you have. There's Label Radar is a place you can send your tracks to different labels. Everyone thinks the old school way by sending demos off emails. There's so many features nowadays that you can find other outlets to get your music out there. There's a thing called TrackStack. TrackStack, you can send your music. It's basically a source. I call it the middleman for artists that are already out there. They sign up and then they review tracks on there to support your track, give you feedback, etc. So I think it's like you gotta find all the resources nowadays you have online instead of doing the usual demos through emails. It's funny to say, but not many people follow their emails all the time. We get lost in them all the time, right? So it's like, how do you catch up, right? So these are other apps and features that kind of help that step, taking the time away.
So it sounds like a really supportive community in terms of online.
It's a really good community.
Where you can actually, it benefits you.
100%.
Yeah, I know Sam was, when we had Sam I Am on, she was talking about Track Factory and all that stuff. And they've got a really great, she calls it her little cult. There's a group, and there's all these people, and there's so much enthusiasm and love, and they all come support and watch each other, and it looks like a really cool scene.
That's the thing I say. You can't do this on your own. Like, you can't be your artist profile on your own. Like, with me, Stefan, and Mike, and other artists within the scene, I've noticed you need to have each other to push each other, and it kind of helps you motivate each other. Mm-hmm. You can't have a tunnel vision. You have to have a team behind your back. Yeah. Like, a lot of these guys, you can't do this on your own. Yeah. So that's why I say all these sources you have, why not take advantage of them?
Well,
they're all here.
Funny, the new. I'm always interested in this because as an old school musician of a guitar instrument in this new modern style of doing it, the whole idea, again, was never to do it on your own. You know what I mean? That's what, the Beatles were a band. It was a group of guys. It was always a group of guys, a group together, and they did this stuff, and it was always about being together, building audiences, being together. The Grateful Dead, people followed that stuff everywhere. And it's so this idea of doing it on your own, because you literally can with EDM, but it's not the point. It was never the point. You know what I mean? So why it's successful is because music is meant to be shared.
Exactly.
And I think that's
but
really
you make
important.
A good point, like the electronic music space, I would say this more like 2010. A lot of guys like Tiesto, Hardwell, all them, they're one face. They're one guy, right? Yeah. Everyone thinks, it's still one guy doing all of it. Yeah. No, they have teams behind that back. They have writers, they have producers behind their team to let them tour all the time. It doesn't, they're not doing it all on their own. They have to have all these other pieces to the puzzle. A lot of people behind the scenes that help them make what they are. And I think people get lost in that. They see one person and they think, if it's one person, I could do it too on my own. No, there's a lot behind it.
You got a lot of support behind it.
Exactly. Nothing works like that.
Nothing works like that. To get any kind of achievement or success,
right?
It's on the shoulders of other people too.
It
really is.
Well, even in the art world and stuff like that, yes, you make the painting, but ultimately to get it in the hands of people, you need gallery owners. You need there's a team behind every success.
A lot of people involved. Yeah, for sure.
So going back actually with me meeting Yuri in university and getting the Two-Side project going, a lot of people, like you mentioned, was the focus more the artist or was the focus more the event company? Both kind of started at the same time. I just never expected the event company to get to where it is today. But the original plan was I was kind of tired to see the same locals always opening shows in Toronto for the electronic scene. So I was like, why not make a space for other locals to have a chance? There's so many talented producers out here. Why are they not playing shows, right? So I wanted to build an outlet to have these people get a presence in the scene. So that was my one vision, and then the other vision was my own project, because I'm also a struggling DJ producer that didn't have a place to play a space. Right. So that was the outlet too. Why not I build also my place to play, but also have a community behind it, having King Queen events as a space for others as well.
Cool.
It's great.
Yeah. So, okay, so then for DJs that are up and coming, right, what kind of etiquette, what kind of, how should they conduct themselves for a better show? How do you kind of bring them up into the fold?
So it all starts with, again, going to the event, building that network. We used to collect all these like SoundCloud mixes off DMs on King Queen events, but recently, finally, we started have a document form, and you can submit your like mixes, your thing, and then there'll be questions in there that says, what kind of music do you play? Because electronic music is just like the umbrella, right?
Yeah.
And there's like so many genres within. I mean, I can dive into everything. It's crazy how now they overlap each other. Like the big joke is 2012, 2013 was big room. Now it's big room techno. And it's like they all like mingled.
People love labels, man.
Yeah. It's crazy.
In some categories.
No, I'm this and this mixed with this.
I'm sure those same people have like subfolders on their desktop. You know, taxes of this year, taxes of that year, that year. You know,
like breaking it down.
Exactly.
Breaking down
to the nitty-gritty. Photos, family photos, my own photos, subfolder.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
So I thought like we needed to do something like that, because then with those opening questions, I know what kind of style their mix is. I know what kind of event they would fit.
So what venue would work for them?
Well, a venue would work with them. If I'm booking a certain headliner from, say, one of these international artists, do they fit for this kind of act? Do they fit with that kind of act, right? Because everyone wants to play a gig, but I still want to make like a story to the event.
That's interesting.
Right? So like, example, like even curating a lineup. I don't want, like, not everyone's a headliner. Everyone has to start from being an opener, building yourself up to direct support, building yourself up to being that main headliner, having a closer. People think the closer plays right after the headliner, everyone goes home. No, the closer's job, I'm telling you right now, I've been in a situation, many DJs have been in a situation, you have to fulfill that room for that split 10 minutes. If you can hold them in that room, that means you're doing something right. If you can't hold them within that 10 minutes, you didn't do your job.
The job.
Right?
Wow.
So like every piece of the puzzle of building a lineup means something within that like support lineup. Yeah.
You're a percussionist, I know.
There's a funny thing, a lot of, like, I didn't realize when I was young as a musician, we have this kind of holistic idea of what music and art and all that stuff is. But they call it the music business, the art business. It's the business component that a lot of artists fail to understand. And it's like, do you have a story? Do you have like mystique? Do you have a look? Do you have a stuff? Like all of that stuff matters. They create these stories of these guys. Like they make it sound like Jimi Hendrix was some like homeless animal outside and that's his lore. That's the story. But that's not necessarily accurate to what actually happened. He went to the UK and got discovered and all that stuff. But it's like the story is kind of the cool part. It's what makes people want to like understand your vibe.
They invest in that. They invest in the story.
They do. And if you're just bringing the art to the table without the story, that's cool, but there's people out there who are doing the art and the story. And those are the ones that get on gigs like what you're saying, right?
And I think that's what people forget and they miss out on, and they have to see like that's the guidance they need to get to that stage. Again, you can be a talented artist, but if you don't have the business background, it might not help you. Or vice versa. You might have a great business mindset, but you have no idea how the art works. It doesn't work.
It's got to be a little
You
of
got
each.
a little bit of each. Exactly.
Wow.
So,
So that's interesting. When you talk about the story there, like for someone I'm not familiar with the EDM genre kind of thing as much as you are, obviously. But when you say when you paint that story, I'm kind of going, okay, so that's where the kind of creative side of it is for you to sort of say, I'm strategically putting this together in a certain way so that this person's best for this gig, this one's working well for this room. I find that interesting. So in terms of if I saw this kind of thing as someone that's not familiar with it, now that I know, talking to you, I can kind of go, wait a second, this is the vibe that's being generated. This is the creative energy that is developed.
The vibe is intentional.
It's like saying when you start with the opener, he shouldn't be playing the highest energy set. I think it should flow throughout the night to get to the headliner, and then it kind of peaks down.
Yeah, you can't burn them out too quick, or else it ruins
Because then
it.
the crowd's going to be like, I'm tired of this, I'm going home. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. There has to be a nice journey story to it
I saw
to gel the night.
one of the best things I ever saw was I saw Rage Against the Machine. You were there.
Oh my God,
at the Masonic Temple.
Yeah.
There was like
Masonic
500
Temple, yeah.
people there. It was their first tour. Like
one of the best concerts.
We barely knew who they were, and we went to this show, but it's like, it was so hard hitting, and it was like kind of one of the earliest days of the mosh pit idea and all that smashing around, and the whole building was moshing. But what I found interesting was they really controlled the energy of the room, and they dished it out carefully. So it's like they'd put out a song where that was super high energy and everyone was moshing, and they'd realize how tired the audience was getting. And the next he'd slow it down.
Smart.
Or they'd have like he'd go on a political rant or something. But it was clearly designed to let the audience chill. And then so then when the next one hits, they have the energy to bring it forward, and that's so important, especially EDM, because it's nonstop.
Yeah,
nonstop.
And that's why I say you need to read the room. That's what I'd say. As a DJ, like there's a joke, pre-recorded sets and just giving a track list and following thing. But I think at the end of the day, like you need to I've been in situations of my own DJ sets that me and my duo partner, like we dump a bunch of tracks in the track list, and we're like, we're gonna follow this order through the night, see how it goes. I kid you not, like halfway through the set, I'm like, no, I'm switching.
It's
to music.
gone. Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of it, because that is the art. Because
That's
at
the
the
art,
end, because now you're reading the room, you know what the room wants, and you want the people to move a certain way. And putting too much energy, you're gonna drive them to the done.
That's cool. That's good. So okay, while we're pulling back the curtain here, in terms of the whole music scene, so you've got an event coming up. You've booked the big international DJ.
Yep.
That DJ comes to town. How do you deal with that now? You show them around. How do you host them? Where do you take them? How long are they here for? What happens there?
So usually, like if we book an international DJ and say the day of show he flies in, it really depends when they fly in, because our idea as our business is we're an independent business. We're not like these monopolies. I don't buy the nice little fancy Cadillac to pick them up or anything, right? I drive my regular car, nice tinted windows. That's how I advertise it. Tinted windows.
Nice tinted windows.
But however, at the end of the day, we want them to feel that experience that they're having they're a stranger to the city. They have no idea who's picking them up, right? So I want them to feel like welcomed in the city. We try to stand out different than all these monopolies, because to them it's corporate. They get picked up by a driver. They get picked up and to the venue. They may not even meet the person who booked them that night, which is insane to say.
That's insane.
But our experience, I want them to meet me. I want them to get that personal experience, because they're coming blind. As much as they're the big name, they're human beings too.
Just people.
They're just people. Like they're strangers tonight. They don't know what's going on. They need someone to guide them through the city. And something we do is like, I'll pick up the artist. I'll drive them around. We always want to take the artists out for dinner before the show. Treat them, get to know them a little bit, right? Makes them feel comfortable before the show. I've had many guys say this feedback. It's like, I barely go out for dinners on these shows. I just go, like, I'm lonely in my hotel room, just buying ordered hotel food, and I just get picked up by a driver and do my show, and that's it.
Oh, wow.
And I look back on that, and that's kind of something what changed our vision is I don't want them to feel like that.
Yeah,
and that's why
great.
we started bringing that hospitality aspect, make them feel comfortable, get to know the person that's booking you, and get that whole experience. Because then they look back, they're like, oh, these guys at King Queen events, oh, they treated me so well, I love them. The word gets around, right? And that's what you want. You want that little like wholesome vibe together than, being just known as a corporation.
And then they care about the performance too.
Yeah. Oh, and then they feel
want
that
it to be a success.
They'll want to do a better job for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And it helps you out too in terms of the long run. Now your network now is a closer knit thing, and helps and expands too as well, right?
The word gets around, and it's exactly what you said. They feel comfortable in the space they're playing. They're not like, oh, I'm just here to play and then fuck off. I hate to say it, but it's true. It's true at the end of the day. And that makes them feel good going into the gig. It makes them for a purpose, right?
Gets them the most out of them.
Yeah. So
and they'll return.
And we've had many returns. And
business,
some guys have played for us for a reason, again, because of the experience. Because they've enjoyed it so much.
Which is great. That's when you know you're doing something right.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
good.
Cool.
That's what it comes down to.
Okay, so now let's take it to the international artist and then the local DJ that you're bringing up, right?
Yeah.
what's the difference between them, or comparisons, or similarities, kind of thing, in regards to how they handle themselves? How do they behave? How do they kind of conduct their business or their performance?
Yeah. So when I first started it, the original goal was to help local DJs and throw on a local event.
But it grew big, and now you're international.
Then I didn't expect to start booking international, but when I had the opportunity, I wanted to bring artists that don't usually come to the city. And that's how I started bringing these certain internationals. And then for the locals, I thought, this is a perfect avenue. If you play similar music, this kind of can build your portfolio to be on these lineups, builds a presence. Because now they can use that and say go to another show or try to get booked by someone else in the city. Oh, I opened for Kirby, example. I've opened for Maddox. So now they have that on their resume. And I think that's the perfect avenue too. It's like, they can also maybe meet these artists, get connected with them. Now they're familiar. When they send an email, they'll be recognized by them. So it's like all these little things I think can help these locals to build to where we are. When you made the comment about the local, how do they get treated differently than the international? Well, the international obviously paid a different fee. They go through an agency. The locals mainly from just one-on-one, us talking. Usually doesn't have a manager or anything. But I still like to treat it with a process. Like, I'll let them know ahead of time how you're getting paid. If you do really well and you bring a lot of people, I'll give you a bonus. Because I think if you're putting the work in and you're putting your time and money on the line, why don't you deserve something a little bit more too?
Yeah. And that's good business. Yeah.
If you, of all the internationals you brought in, can you identify, is there like a commonality of approach between those guys that's different, say, than a smaller level DJ? Like, what level of professionalism do they bring that the beginners
I'd say their experience with DJ sets, I guess they know how to read a room obviously better than all locals, and I think it just comes with traveling. You know, they're playing in different cities around the world, so they know kind of how to read that room of like what sound fits in this city, what sound fits in there. And even their mixing, like I've seen some DJs, like I'm just looking on the decks and I'm mind blown of like how they're mixing this track in, or how they're like, you know, playing with the knobs. And it's just, I think that just comes with practice and experience.
Is there a way to do that? Like, can you, how do you learn how to read a room? Yeah. Like, do you have any insight on that?
I would say how to read a room is, I would say don't put yourself just looking on the decks. See how the crowd is moving. See what they're gelling to. Are they gelling to the harder hit sounds? Are they gelling to like the mainstream vocal sounds? Or are they liking the underground music? You got to see kind of like how that would gel in when you're mixing in a track. That's kind of like where I see it. Even myself on my own DJ gigs, if I start seeing them liking some of my unknown music, I'm going to keep playing more of that underground stuff because they're moving to it. You don't need the vocals that night. But sometimes you need to fit in that vocal to kind of get the energy up again. So, you just kind of like ride it with how you feel.
One thing I was always impressed with too, like even like back in the original days of DJing with the records and stuff, like those
Vinyl
big clubs
stuff.
you'd go to, I was stunned at how much repertoire DJs had. Their knowledge of different records. They just knew thousands of records, and you could say, "Hey, man, can you play this?" And they'd go
right away.
And like they knew exactly where it was in the pile, and they were right on it. And so I think the bigger your palette of musical taste, the more control you have over the room.
100%.
Because
I would say too, like you shouldn't limit yourself when starting off as a DJ. You shouldn't limit yourself just to one, like say, genre of EDM. I think you should explore a bit of all, because like you said, it builds your catalog, and you kind of now help knowing better what fits in this room. So like you can just be a house DJ and just play house music all the time, but like it's good to explore like other avenues like drum and bass or trance or like techno, because I think you can find other elements within those genres that can gel into that.
You might need it.
And you might need it.
You might need it.
And that actually will stand you out, giving that like wow factor as a DJ, because you can play the same music as everyone else, and everyone, may like it or be like, whatever. But there's a difference, they say. There's a difference between being a great DJ and a good DJ. And I think as a great DJ is that wow factor. When you're putting in a track when people don't expect it coming, then being those good DJs that, I already know what track is coming in or being mixed in.
Yep.
And I think that's what also helps read the room better, because you're also noticing, I like a fan in the crowd might be like, oh my God, I remember that moment when he dropped this like track I never knew. I wanted to Shazam it right now. And that's going to stand out different than someone just playing the same repetitive, same mixes again.
Here it is, the color palette. different colors on the palette.
my God, how
There it is.
descriptive.
He's
Beautiful.
painting with different styles of music.
Absolutely.
You know? You need a little bit
Wow.
of red over here, a little bit of salsa in here. A little bit.
My goodness, Jerry, you're poetic.
Oh, I know.
But
I'm
it's
just pulling
true.
it in.
That all gels together.
It does, though, and that's the thing. And then on your way up to that, like in terms of being a headliner, you got to start off as the opening act.
Yes,
right.
exactly.
You got to earn your stripes, kind of thing, as along the way.
All these headliners, if you see some of these stories, like James Hype, he used to play in the smallest clubs in London before he got to what is his Ferrari song that blew up. Good on him, but it took years to get to that, right?
Yeah.
And it's all like all these locals. You need to start like from the bottom ground to get to that stage. You don't know when your hit song is gonna come, but these are the little roots and like practice that comes with it by playing these certain clubs before getting to the big stages. So it's all steps out. Even the positions as local artists on my lineups, like we have an opener, we have like a second, I call it, based on the set times we put on.
Sure.
We have a direct support. Usually that's like the biggest local going into the show before the headliner, and then you have a closer. I think all those spots have its relevancy of where you get placed. Openers, usually it's a fresh body, first time playing for me, or first time kind of new in the scene. So he gets the little experience at the start. If you do well, you move up, you can now level up to the second or the direct support. But I think you should take steps to get to there, right?
Yeah, you don't want to leapfrog too early because then you don't have the experience of reading the room, of the technical ability, the skill to just put on a great show.
Yeah.
You got to earn that as you go, right? So there is an art form in that evolution, I guess you could say.
And it comes with practice.
People are more forgiving of openers too, right?
Yeah.
Because they know this is the opener guy.
This is the opener guy,
he can screw up. But if you're in a primo position and you mess it up.
Exactly. And that's why you need that like direct support guy. He's probably had years experience. He's your trusted guy you want before the headliner. He ain't going to play like high energy music 10 minutes before the headliner. That's usually an opener amateur move. And that's why I put an opener to learn from that, to see and get inspired by the direct support on how I can get to that stage.
So there is parameters that you have to kind of fit into as the opener, as a second, and not to color outside the lines or anything, but you have a job to do. And it's not just to be full charge all the time. You're kind of painting that scene as to leading up to something. Right? Yeah, you are.
Because a lot of the locals will they want to be that direct support. They want to play before the headliner. Mm-hmm. But some of them just don't understand yet because they don't have that experience to know that, you need to know that you can't be slamming the room right before the headliner.
Well, your role is to make the headliner as good as possible. It's like a support role in a football team or anything. It's like you need to work so that guy can do his thing the best, and it's a team, and they pull together and do all that stuff.
And a lot of guys that open for me at first, then they go ask right away, can I be direct support? I say, no, it takes time to get to that experience.
Yeah. Easy young grasshopper. In time.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So that's good though, because I'm actually genuinely trying to understand it, and I don't listen to. It's not like my forte in terms of EDM.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting as to how you're describing it as an expert in it. I'm kind of I'm going to watch out for these kinds of things next time.
Yeah.
I'm going to look out for that because now I'm in the know of what you're talking about. I'm like, okay, I'll pay attention more.
Best way, like if you go to a DJ set or one of these shows, you'll see a difference between a direct support artist and the opening.
Okay.
You'll notice now the difference probably.
And I'm going to email you and I'll say, is this guy doing a good job for the opener?
Did I notice it?
Yeah, exactly.
I noticed.
Anyway, we do have some nice, I can smell it actually. It smells amazing.
It smells incredible.
And this is some of the stuff from our local food establishments around town. So
sweet.
We are going to try this, but first I'm going to hand it over to Tracy. Tracy, what are we having here?
Yeah, so first of all, it's hot, so be careful, you guys.
Okay. Oh, it's hot.
Okay, so the Riff table is tasting the formidable flavor fusion of Rasta Pasta from the Waterworks Food Hall. Gary, Jeremy, and Andrew are having the soft, fluffy gnocchi sauteed in Alfredo sauce with Rasta's famous jerk chicken. My Toronto chose Rasta Pasta because apparently Andrew is a huge fettuccine Alfredo guy, and we here on the Riff love to celebrate Toronto's iconic fusion cuisine. And the fact that Rasta Pasta takes Jamaica and Italy and folds both these cultures throughout their entire menu is so Toronto. After the show, we'll be having more of their Jamaican-Italian fusion with the Irie fettuccine and their very popular Jamaican me crazy chicken with jerk spices, rice, coleslaw, and veggies. You can find Rasta Pasta inside the Waterworks Food Hall. Super cool, 55,000 square feet of European-style space, masterfully repurposed from a historic 1930s utilities building in Toronto's vibrant King West neighborhood. Under its soaring original skylights and spectacular floor-to-ceiling windows, the sun-drenched warehouse gathers over 15 diverse foodie spots to create an elevated communal dining experience. And the coffee in the Riff studio is from Found Coffee on Front Street. Across 2 shows now, we've sampled 4 of their blends from this cafe located inside the Intercontinental Toronto Centre. Their varieties cover multiple tasting notes like, here we go, cherry jam, red plum, pomegranate, jasmine, milk chocolate, rhubarb, lemon. Found Coffee has 3 locations across the city, so be sure to stop in and try their washed Colombian, Peruvian, and other beans. So I am going to be brave enough to take it back to the Riff table now. I'm seeing you guys drinking your water. Are you picking up on that Jamaican spice?
All right, so you said we're having Rasta Pasta after the show is all done, right? And we're going to continue on. So let's just end the show right now.
Let's just keep eating.
Gary's chair is just going to look empty.
Amazing. Yeah. That was fantastic.
Oh my God, garlic butter, all that kind of stuff.
I love butter. I can't stop.
Oh.
Well, Andrew,
background being Ukrainian, anything like
there's so much butter in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What'd you think of that?
Amazing.
That was good.
Amazing.
Did you know that it was that nice Alfredo sauce, but just with a little bit Jamaican zip?
I tasted it.
Yeah.
Really,
Jamaican-Italian fusion.
Right? Like who does that?
I didn't expect. Like I tasted a little spice a bit. I'm not a huge spice guy, but this little spice gave the nice touch.
It's nice. It's like it's almost like comfort food in a way, like that kind of nice flavoring of.
I'm such a sucker for jerk chicken, man. You put a jerk chicken in anything, it's like, dude, that's so.
But
good.
it's not overwhelmingly hot. You've got all the flavors. I don't know how many spices are in their jerk blend, but anyway, Rasta Pasta, you guys.
Overkill. It's like a perfect mix, I would say. Perfect mix.
Yeah.
No, it was good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Solid.
Thank you.
You sure we can't end the show right now? No.
Gary's chair is now empty for the rest of the show. Maybe I should wait till the end of the show to do the food. Yeah.
Okay.
Glad you guys loved it.
It's just sweat, I swear.
Wow. All right. Okay. I'm delirious with Jamaican-Italian food now. Okay.
It is from Noki.
It's good.
Maybe we just end the show. No.
More food. Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of getting the international people to perform, right?
Yeah.
Are you scouting them in terms of going to places, going to travel internationally to find these people and bring them home? And where are you going?
So we do everything here. It's over email to reach out to these agencies and all that.
Oh, okay.
When I started it, little backstory, the Twitch era, we wanted like local DJs was the main priority and wanted to do an event in May. Started in 2020 of January and pandemic hit. So I said, what the heck do? I started a page. I founded it actually with a female. It's actually King and Queens. That's why it's King and Queen.
Right.
Neat. It started with a deck of cards. That's how that happened. And when we started, we wanted to do that. But then I'm like, I got to pivot somehow. Like everyone's doing Twitch streams. Like, okay, all these clubs are shut down. Maybe this is the way in to build the brand. Started doing local lineups, live streams monthly. That was one thing I always wanted to say is like be consistent. And I think that's advice for even artists, producers, event goers, anything, is just stay consistent. And I think that's what stood out to build this what it is today. Because you can, like an artist I know that I was helping at the start when I started King Queen events, he had like a big track. And he had no backing after that, meaning like he had no follow-up track. And the next follow-up track was like almost like a year after. And something I always say for anyone, it's like stay consistent because not every track's going to be a hit, not every track's thing, but at least it's going to keep you relevant in the scene and keep you on the radar. So that kind of helped me say, going back to this, I was like, got to stay relevant. So started Twitch, started doing Twitch streams. And I didn't expect this, but I got like a random email like one day when I was working from home at like 8 a.m., my dad's sleeping and this agency from the UK having big artists, like guys that collabed with Tiesto, collabed with like, did songs like all over the world. And these are international artists. And they're like, yeah, we want to put your guys on as like a series to do live streams on your like Canadian network. So I built it that it's like a Canadian Twitch EDM scene because all these clubs are closed, and it started developing that way that the network now has a platform for these guys. So I kid you not, it was 8 a.m. I start yelling out loud. I'm like, Dad, you're not going to believe this, right? And he's like, shut up, it's 8 a.m. I'm trying to sleep right now. I'm like, but dude, Tiesto, collab. You have no idea. You have no idea. These are big DJs. Like, come on, Dad.
Yeah.
So that was a funny moment, but that really like started making me think. That kind of avenue to like the international bookings, and I was like, these guys don't usually come to the city. Maybe I can start booking guys that don't usually come here. And such being an EDM enthusiast, I got in the scene in maybe like 2016, and I all started with like Hardwell and Spaceman was like the track, and I just loved it. I love going to raves. I love going to the music festivals, and that's what something sparked me when I started this all. I was like, why is it always the same artists coming to the city? Like, why can't we have something different? There's so many international DJs out there. Why haven't this guy come to the city? Why hasn't this guy come, right? Like, how many times do you see the same acts all the time, right? Mm-hmm. So that kind of sparked that avenue. And then during COVID, we started doing those streams, started getting more international DJs on the streams. They recorded it, then it would be streamed on my platform and all that. We've had ones that had over 1,000 views, had actively like 200 watching. And it's just like one step at a time. And then developed it to doing it in person. And that's when we did like 150 cap venues and started selling out those venues and then building up and reaching out to these agencies. I started building a portfolio, a resume. I've booked this guy, this guy, this guy, and now it's got me into these bigger agencies. And since last year, September 25, I happily checked the box to say I've worked with every top agency in North America.
Wow,
and
congratulations.
We talking UTA, CAA, you name it, Wasserman, which is now The Team, but I won't get into that story, why they switched the name. That's another story.
Okay.
But all those big agencies, I couldn't believe to the day that I've now worked with all of them and have that ability to just like email an agent and giving that trust, right? And that's where it all starts. You have to kind of work with their smaller guys first, even though they're international DJs. They may be the smaller guy on their agency, but prove to them that you can sell tickets with this guy, right? And that comes with building my brand, building the audience, building that community to be able to level up to get the bigger name.
There's a bunch of trust in that too from the people that come to your show. Like it's got to be a good show. So the next one they go, he's putting that show on. We got to go to his next show. Go to his next show. Yeah.
Example, like last week, which Saturday, May 23rd, we had Shipwreck. Shipwreck has played for the Monopoly for every year for the last 4 years, right? And somehow I broke that. As an independent company, I finally booked them without them playing for the Monopoly. And it all became trust from that agent because I booked a couple of his artists before and smaller guys, but it made him believe in and giving his now bigger guy to me. So it all starts with those little
So
like,
what would be your dream booking then if you booked all these people?
Hardwell would be one because that's who kind of got into
started
me.
It for you. Right?
He did start. I had a call with his agent and I had a chance to one-on-one possibly book him, but it does take time and effort for someone that big caliber and finding the right venue, finding the right date. Guys like that, they cost more, right? So you want to be strategic on the date you're putting on, what you're competing with in the city. So smaller guys with different ranges of like $5,000, whatever, you can work with different venues. But we're talking guys that cost like $75K plus, right?
Yeah,
that's the kind of number you're talking.
Those are the dreams I want to get to. Building a festival one day, doing a label showcase of one of these guys, right? And so there's definitely goal steps that we want to get as a team with me, Stefan, and Mike. And even working like Coda, that was a step to get into a venue actively that I could work at Coda. And working at Nomad, I would say happily to say for Nomad was nothing before. It started like 2-3 years ago, and we built the name for Nomad. The Coda owner only knew about Nomad because of us. Like, that's the crazy thing to say. Because it's like built an audience and built people's radars that, there's these guys doing stuff at this venue.
Well, and what would be the dream venue then? What would
dream venue now?
Where would you want to have something take place?
I think now I'm kind of at the ceiling, and that's why I want to get into like doing label showcases and try to put on a festival. Because I can't work with certain venues because they won't work with us. Because competition.
He who shall not be named, right?
But the ones like Coda, I'm really happy that they gave us a chance to working with them because Little insight about them is Embrace does a lot of their bookings. Embrace is associated with Live Nation, so even getting those invoices from Live Nation was a big factor. I remember one day after one of the events I did at Coda, and I got that invoice, and I showed my dad. He's like, "You're working with Live Nation." Holy shit, that's pretty cool. Right? He's like, "He's legit."
Was he awake now?
He's like, "This is legit." My son
wasn't he in the morning for
so
him?
he's like, he's calling people back home and all that. He owns a successful event company now.
Now he's a proud papa.
He works with these
Ukrainian
big guys.
dad,
I'm like, oh, now he wakes up. right?
That's awesome.
That's how it works, right? Typical Eastern European Ukrainian dad.
So how does that work then? If you're juggling, like, obviously you're making more connections, more network, more all that kind of stuff, and people are probably, because you're working with them more frequently, friendships develop, right?
Yeah.
How do you juggle the friendship part versus the business part then, right? Because I would imagine that's got to be something where you're giving and taking and all this kind of stuff, right?
There's a lot of people, because of this type of industry, that they see it, as business or see it as friendship. And I've had friends that I try to show that it's not, like, I try to put a divider on it, right? Like, I don't want it to be, this is how it is. But some people do get confused when it's friendship and business. And I tried to explain to them, this is me being business right now. And I let them know a heads up, right? Because, like, this is me talking as a friend. This is me talking as business, because it does mix in between each other. And I've had friends that kind of like parted ways a bit because they looked at it as like business and they don't see it. Yeah. And they only used you or took advantage of me to be just, becoming my friend because they wanted to get a gig, or becoming my friend because they wanted to, get out there more.
Professional is a very different thing than amateur stuff. And it's not personal. It's like you have to bring a level in order to be working with certain people. You haven't earned your place among others. And it's a weird thing when they're friends, because friends cross that comfort level. They seen you in your underwear, so they're like, he's a good dude,
he's
man. He's my boy.
I've known him for years.
That's what you come up with first.
And it's like, well, no, you know what I'm saying, right? Like it's like
your close friend.
It's too close. You got like messy hair. It's like,
well, you have seen me
I've seen him in other scenarios.
We're friends now.
Therefore,
oh my God.
But they think they belong on the same level because you're friends on the same level, and that's really,
and I think like that's the path of all these like DJ producers. We're all growing at different stages, and and we're all in different levels. Like when I started the event company, I was working with another promoter in the scene, and I was a promoter for them. At this stage, we're at the same level. Like I climbed the ladder now to be them, but I had to earn my stripes to get there. Right? It all takes that. People they think they can cut the corner, jump the gun and, jump the ladder, but that's not how it works. And then once you get to that ladder and higher success, it's sad to say some friends or other businesses, they want to drag you down.
If you start doing that, then it'll bring you down because your level has to stay professional.
Exactly.
And if it drops, then it hurts you.
So I try to keep everything, like everyone's path is different, and I try to keep it on the same level if I'm talking to them in this way or if I'm talking to someone on the higher up level. Everyone has a different path, everyone has a different journey, so you want to treat it the same to make sense with the conversation.
Good.
Very cool.
Yeah. Wow. So last question then, in terms of, because let's look at the time. The Toronto scene, how would you describe it? Is it healthy? Is it up and coming? Is it still growing?
I would say like...
Is there things that we can improve?
I would say within the last 2 years, I haven't seen so many electronic music events in my life in the city until the last 2 years.
Great.
I think it keeps growing. House music has been on a rise example. I remember looking at this, I saw on a reel actually on Instagram, it's 2019 house music, tech house was not mainstream. And now guys like, example, Chris Lake, John Summit, they're playing RBC Amphitheater, you know what I mean?
Wow.
You would never think of that. Last night, Martin Garrix was playing there. I would never expect Martin Garrix. That's an electronic music DJ. We're used to bands, hip-hop artists, R&B playing at those amphitheaters. And what the heck? Now it's DJs? That's insane.
It's cool. Wow.
So that's how it's come to that. And example, John Summit now is doing a Scotiabank Arena show.
Crazy.
I know.
What? I know.
How do you dance in the seats though?
People just stand.
That's the funniest part. Because I've seen those videos when it's a room, no seats. Everybody's all over the place, moving and all kinds of...
I know. Electronic music is meant to dance.
It's wild.
But that's what I think is really healthy to see, because it's now getting to that stage that people are developing, now seeing the next level steps of electronic music. It's not known as much underground anymore. And yes, the roots are still underground, but it's happy to see that it's growing to this level.
Yeah,
right?
it's great.
And that's what I want to see in the city. And like years ago when I started it, I maybe saw like 4 shows a weekend that would just be international. There's sometimes weekends like more collectives and more promoters are throwing, there's like 8-10 shows. So it's like doubling. And I think that is healthy because everyone now is in it now, and they're actually, the enjoyment of that type of music is growing in the scene.
Fantastic.
Crazy. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Well, listen, I mean, it's been great having you on the podcast. Like, I've learned something today for sure. I definitely have from you. So I'm happy that you came on. Now, if we want to get more of you, where can we find more info?
So most of our stuff is on Instagram, which is King Queen Events. That's the handle. We have Facebook as well, which is King Queen Events. You can find us on YouTube. Anything is King Queen Events on social media, TikTok, you name it. So everything King Queen Events. Yes, it's called King and Queen Events, but I will clarify. Social media wise, everything is King Queen Events.
Okay, because I see kingqueenevents.com.
Yes, and that is our website as well.
Okay.
We've had that website for years now. Thank you to Stefan. He's developed it for years. And we post our upcoming shows there, our recaps, our like
anything coming up?
So tonight actually is at Coda Zarate Lima. He's from Brazil. I'm playing myself actually too.
Nice.
So I'm opening the night. It's my solo debut because I've done a couple back-to-backs at Coda, but I call it solo because now it's just me and Yuri playing tonight.
Nice, very
so
cool.
That's nice. And there's a couple other local artists like Bipolar and Tsunami. And then we have 2 more shows in June to finish off our spring season, which is June 12th at Coda, which is Sam Pacho. We've had him now 3 times, going to be our 4th.
Okay.
Sold him out every time, so happy to bring him to Coda.
Anything coming up in July? I think this is when the show will air, right?
I'll tease one. It will be a local event. And I won't say where, but we're going to bring a cool feature within that local event to kind of theme it with the World Cup.
Yes. So details to come?
Details to come soon on that. And then also June 13th, we have an artist from Brazil as well. And his name is Reggie Ben. He has a collab with Chris Lake. A lot of people know the song called Toxic. So that's kind of cool. Check that out.
Very cool.
Yeah, and we'll start gearing up for our fall then, probably. A couple more shows, but we like to stay active once a month, either 2 shows a month or 1 show a month, and I think that's what keeps us relevant in the scene and bringing the up-and-coming, the best up-and-coming talent.
What about personal? Do you have any artist pages you should follow for you? Because the Slavs?
Yeah. So for me, Stefan, and Mike, our artist profiles are example for myself is 2 Slav Music. For Stefan, it's Stefano de Milan. And for Mike, it's Mazzara Music.
Very cool.
Yeah. You are a busy guy.
A busy guy, yeah.
Love it.
I'm always on my phone. I'm always on the ball.
Yeah.
I am a type of person, funny enough to say this, is I hate seeing notifications, like the icon that says, you have 5 notifications. I always want to wipe it. So I like to go through it.
Me too.
I like to go through it. So I'm always, when I wake up,
it's go time.
It's go time.
Yep.
My duo partner laughs at this. As a good side joke is, when I wake up, say like within 5 minutes, I'm going to like, he sees me, he's like, different group chats we're in or different like Instagram group chats or even emails. He's like, holy shit, Andrew's awake because holy shit, he just ran through 5 different group chats in 5 minutes. He's up. He's awake.
Your dad's still asleep, but you're up. Okay, got it. All right. Listen, thank you very much for coming on the show today. It's been wonderful having you here, and we've learned a lot. And you are busy. You got stuff going on, and it's great to see. All right.
Growing the scene.
You definitely are. And I think the music scene's better with you. That's for sure.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Wow.
Living and learning,
so
right?
I'm not familiar with this, but now I feel as if I've learned something.
Yeah.
I really do. Like I'm going to watch out for that now.
Yeah, I'm a little spoiled. I got both of my kids are really into that scene, and they both speak very highly of Andrew and their events and all that stuff. And it's been cool to watch it and to learn from it. Again, as an old school musician, it's totally new to me, and it was weird at first, but I see it now. It makes more sense when you see it, and you talk to them, and you find out you understand. It's all just music. It's the same. It's all great.
Yep.
Everything's just
enough to energize a crowd.
Like I said at the beginning, anything's great that gets people doing stuff and out there working and
pushing that creativity, as you mentioned at the beginning. And when you mentioned the Rage Against the Machine concert there, we would in the mosh pit, we would all be like jumping up, and if you jumped up, your feet may not touch the ground for another minute or two. The crowd was so packed.
It was so tight in there.
And you're just floating around. And if you wanted to breathe fresh air, you had to go way to the very, very back. It was like stifling.
We were moshing in the bathroom in that show. It was
I remember my back was like black and blue.
It was
from
insane.
Up on the crowd and then boom.
Remember those guys jumping from the balcony?
Yeah.
They were raining down bodies on you. Like we were in the pit where you're like this and there's a body lands on your head. Like,
what a show that was. It was great.
Insane.
Anyway, we'll end it there. Anything else?
No, man, I'm good.
All good?
Yeah, we could keep talking.
I know. Okay. We'll put an end on it there. So
let's
that's
have
it.
More gnocchi.
Over to Rasta Pasta now. I think that's for sure. Let's end this show quick. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for another episode of The Riff. And that's all for us today. So it's a goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from him.